Our first story today is My Wife Lies About Everything, and I don't mean little slip ups. I mean full on stories that just aren't true. We've been married for 3 years, and I can't tell what's real with her anymore, and it's starting to ruin my life. Hi, Aunt Jay. I don't know how I got myself here, but I'm honestly embarrassed to admit what my marriage has turned into. I've been with my wife Ira for 4 years now and married for 3. When we first met, she came across as exciting, full of stories, full of life. She'd tell me these wild things like how she met a celebrity once or how she worked on some huge project at her job. At first, I didn't think much of it. I thought she was just exaggerating a little. And she was beautiful, fun, and I was in love. But over the years, the line has gone from quirky to constant. She lies about things that don't even matter. If we're out with friends, she'll claim she went to private school, when I know she didn't. She'll say her family owns property abroad, which just isn't true. Once she even told people she speaks Italian, and I sat there watching her make up fake words, pretending it was the language. I wanted the ground to swallow me up. The worst thing is, she does it in front of me, as if I don't exist, as if I won't notice. And when I pull her up on it later, she just laughs it off. She'll say, "Oh, come on, everyone lies a little. Who cares?" But I care, because these aren't harmless little white lies. They add up. They paint this picture of her being someone she's not. And it makes it feel like I'm in on the performance. I'm helping her trick people when I don't want to be. And it's embarrassing, Aunt Jay. Last month we went out to a dinner party with some friends of mine from work. Out of nowhere she starts telling everyone that she used to run marathons and that she was training for another. I've never seen her run a mile in her life. But then she doubled down, talking about finishing times and races she'd apparently done. My mates were asking her questions, impressed, and I was sat there, just nodding along, dying inside. On the drive home, I asked her what was all that about. She just shrugged and said, "Well, it makes me sound interesting." And that's the thing. She doesn't see a problem. She thinks everyone lies to make themselves look better, and that I'm just uptight for caring. But Aunt Jay, I just can't switch off anymore. I notice every single lie now. Like when she told my mum that she grew up in a big house with a swimming pool. My mum looked at her confused because she knows exactly where my wife's parents live. A normal semi-detached house like everyone else. Or when she claimed to her boss that she studied finance at university. She didn't even go to university. She just makes these things up on the spot. And I'm left standing there like an idiot. It's honestly exhausting. I find myself avoiding social situations just so I don't have to watch her spinning another fake story. I've even started warning people ahead of time. Oh, she likes to exaggerate. But even saying that feels wrong, because I'm basically admitting that my wife just can't tell the truth. I don't know if this is a compulsion, like she genuinely just can't help it, or if she just enjoys creating fake versions of herself. But either way, it's getting worse, and I'm starting to resent her for it. Marriage is supposed to be built on trust, isn't it? But how can I trust someone who lies about the tiniest details? How can I feel proud standing next to her when I never know what's going to come out of her mouth next? I used to tell myself she'll grow out of it, that maybe it was nerves or insecurity. But after 3 years of marriage, I don't see it stopping. If anything, the lies have gotten bolder, and I'm the one left feeling small. And to be honest, Aunt Jay, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be her husband. I love her, I really do, but I don't love this constant performance. I actually feel like I'm married to a stranger because I don't actually know who the real her is anymore. So that's where I'm stuck. Do I confront her properly and tell her, I can't live like this? Do I try to drag her to therapy, or do I just accept that this is who she is and just learn to live with the lies? Because right now, I feel like I'm losing myself in all of this, and I'm starting to think love might not be enough. I'll be honest with you, this isn't a small issue. You're not just dealing with someone who tells the odd white lie. Your wife is building a fake version of herself and dragging you into it. You say you love her, and I don't doubt that for a second, but love doesn't mean ignoring behaviour that chips away at your respect for her. And that's exactly what's happening here. You're embarrassed, and embarrassment in a marriage doesn't just go away on its own, it builds. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say just leave her, but I will say this: you need to stop brushing it off. You've been tolerating this for years, and she thinks it's all a joke. She won't take this seriously until you show her that it is serious. And that means sitting her down properly and saying, I can't live like this. If you want this marriage to last, you need to deal with this. Whether that's therapy, counselling, or even just acknowledging the problem. But it has to start with honesty. Well, if she refuses, then you've got your answer. You'll know that this isn't about insecurity or nerves. It's about her not respecting you enough to stop. You can't control her lying, of course, but you can control how much you are willing to live with it. And if right now you're embarrassed to be her husband, ask yourself how much worse it's going to feel in another 3 years. Let me know what you all think in the comments section below. Now, on to story number 2. Our second story today is, I've been married to my husband James for 20 years, and the truth is he puts everyone else before me and the kids. He'll drop everything to help other people, but when it comes to his own family, we're left at the bottom of the list. Hi Aunt Jay, I don't usually complain, but I'm at a point where I feel invisible in my own marriage. My husband James and I have been together for over 2 decades now, and we've raised kids, we've built a home, and from the outside people probably think we're a solid couple. But there's something that eats away at me every single day. James puts everyone else before us. It sounds small when you say it out loud, but it's constant. If a neighbour's fence blows down after a storm, James will be out there the same day with his tools fixing it like it's urgent. Meanwhile, our own gate has been broken for months, and every time I ask him to sort it out, he just says he'll get round to it, but he never does. Last winter, one of his friends came down with flu. James was straight in the car driving across town to bring him paracetamol, soup, and anything else he needed. But when I caught the same flu, he left me in bed and said, "You'll be fine," and then went off to watch football. I had to drag myself to the pharmacy shivering just to get my own medicine. And it's not just the big things, Aunt Jay. It's every little situation. If a colleague asks him to help move furniture, he's there in a heartbeat. If his sister wants her kids babysat, he'll cancel our plans so that he can go and do it. But when his own daughter asked him to come to her school play last year, he didn't even take the time off work. He told her maybe next time. But there never was a next time. I've lost count of the number of birthdays and family events he skipped because someone else needed something. But I've noticed it's never us he prioritises. We're always the afterthought. I don't know if he's doing this because he wants to look like the good guy, if he genuinely believes his own family will just understand and cope. Maybe he thinks helping other people will make him a better person. But from where I'm standing, it just feels like he's choosing strangers and friends over the people that should matter the most. It's humiliating sometimes. The neighbours rave about how helpful James is, how lucky I am to have such a kind man. They don't see me stood there thinking, if only he treated me half as well as he treats you. We've argued about it. When I tell him how I feel, he just accuses me of being selfish. He'll say, "What would you rather? I ignore people who need me?" And I try to explain to him it's not about ignoring other people, it's about not neglecting your own wife and kids in the process. But he just shuts me down and makes me feel guilty for even bringing it up. The truth is, Aunt Jay, I don't feel cared for in this marriage anymore. I feel like a housemate, a cook, a cleaner, but not a priority. And it really breaks my heart because I still love him so much. And I still really want our marriage to work. But I just don't know how much longer I can go on feeling like this, always second best. And I keep asking myself, is this just who James is? A man who needs the approval of everyone around him, even if it means leaving his own family behind? Or is there a way of making him see how much damage he's actually doing? Because right now, after 20 years together, I feel like I've given my life to someone who doesn't even see me anymore. I'll be straight with you, this isn't about James being helpful. This is about him not valuing his own family the way he should. There's a difference between being kind and being a people pleaser. And what James is doing isn't kindness, it's avoidance. He'll jump to fix everyone else's problems because it makes him look good. But when it comes to the people at home, he takes you for granted. He assumes you'll always be there no matter how much he ignores your needs. That's not fair and it's not sustainable. You're not selfish for wanting your husband to show up for you, his wife and kids, the bare minimum of marriage and parenting. You've already tried telling him how you feel. He brushes it off and calls you selfish. That's manipulation. He's making you feel guilty for asking you what you deserve. My advice? Stop letting him deflect. Be clearer with him. I'm not asking you to stop helping others. I'm asking you to start helping us too. If he still refuses to listen, then you have to decide if you're willing to keep living in a marriage where you and your children always come last. At the end of the day, I always say this, marriage is about showing up. If he can't show up for his own family, then you've got every right to ask yourself whether or not this marriage is giving you the respect and partnership you need. Well, those are my thoughts. Have you ever found yourselves in any of these situations? What advice do you have and how would you deal with it? Let me know in the comments section. Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you so much for watching and subscribe for more true stories like this. I post every single week. But until next time, guard your heart and protect your peace.